This is an artifact. So this is the actual book. This is not a copy of the book. This is the book, and you can see that's as far as I got writing my name. So I guess I quit. That's so hard. You can't write the whole name. Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. I have been pretty busy on YouTube lately for me. Part of that might have to do with the fact that I got a new computer a few months ago. I'm doing the watermelon sign with my hands. It's got a 34-inch monitor, which of course you can't see. And it's got an integrated camera with a mic and all that. And it has made it a lot easier for me to sit down, make a quick video, post it, whatever. So it doesn't feel like such a hassle. I don't have to download from another camera. So that has been working for me. And as it has become easier to make videos, I have realized that there are a lot of things that I want to talk about that kind of don't fit in the archaeology box, which is the majority of content on this channel. I think the very first thing I ever posted when I started on YouTube, which was back when I was doing the pseudoarchaeology stuff on my blog, was like a video of a dragonfly. There's some aviation stuff on there. And a few years ago, as my art career was uh, flourishing is not the right word. For whatever reason, I felt like it was a good idea to separate out different parts of my life into different channels. So I've got a YouTube channel called Rusted Rabbit, which is where I do my original music stuff, and I don't post on there very often, but it's there. It's massive fan base of 7 subscribers. Stuff I do when nobody's watching. I put my sculpture stuff on the 0 Point Mechanic channel. Oh, this one has a massive 16 subscribers. Last video I made here was 3 years ago. I used to do time lapses of working on sculptures and stuff. I stopped doing them because they weren't really worth the effort, I thought. I moved it all over, I separated it out, and that seemed to be an organized, reasonable thing to do. But now I'm coming back to the feeling that I want to kind of have everything all together. I have not been successful in, up until this point, really maintaining one channel and producing content regularly, let alone 3. So that structure kind of failed in that respect. Today, branding is important. You know, you need to have a brand, you need to be on brand. And all of these channels that I see on YouTube are very much like the streaming model of television, where things get more and more siloed. And you have a channel for this and you have a channel for that. And people choose their content, I think, by going to separate channels. Like you go to a different restaurant. If you want to eat Chinese food, you go to the Chinese restaurant. If you want to have Mexican, you go to the Mexican restaurant. I'm a proud member of Generation X, and we resisted, if you were a sellout when I was a kid, that was a bad thing. And now people cannot wait to sell out. Everybody wants to sell out. Everybody wants to have their brand. I get it. I understand the model, but I realize that it is not working for me. So I'm going to broaden out what I am putting on this channel. I kind of already have. Like I realized, why would if I want to talk about something, like it's my channel, it's not your channel. You can always change the channel. Back when I was a kid, we had 4 or 5 channels. I'm doing the back when I was a kid. That's how you can tell how old I am. Back in my day, we had 3 or 4 channels. If you didn't like something that was on, you turned the other channel, and those were the choices that you had. And each of those channels played a whole variety of different things. The Gen Xer in me kind of wants to have my channel and talk about stuff that is interesting to me. And that is going to include a lot of the pseudo-archaeological content, because I think that YouTube is a really valuable medium for communicating in that world. And I think it's important, and I think it's interesting, and I think it's fun to talk about. But, I'm also interested in music history, especially rock music, especially harder rock music, my own music, visual art, sculpture, 2D, travel, even if it's to the, neighboring abandoned town in central Illinois. Like, I like that stuff. I think it's interesting. Animals, wildlife, insects, stuff I see in my yard. I like noticing signs when the seasons change. I think the natural world is really super interesting, both in terms of grand scale things and in things that, like, I can walk out my back door and observe. I like airplanes a lot, have since I was a kid. I go to air shows occasionally. I've always loved dinosaurs. I may even talk about politics. Who knows? Everything's political. And there are some ties to our political world today and pseudo-archaeology. Maybe we'll get into those or maybe not. But anyway, I do appreciate the new subscribers. I hope I don't scare too many of you away. If I make a video that you're not interested in, please just move on. Again, as a Gen X person, I am never going to beg for clicks or likes or subscribe or just hit the bell. That's not how it works. I've got a job. This is something that I do because it's fun and fulfilling for me. It's validating when people watch a video, comment on it like I like it. I like the interaction, but I do not need it to survive. And I hope the channel continues to grow. Sure, that's better than it fading off into nothing because that's not a whole lot of fun. And I'm going to change the name. Right now it is Andy White Anthropology, which is the name I took from my blog, which was when I was writing mostly about anthropology and archaeology and pseudoarchaeology. I also wrote about other things on my blog too. Anyway, this is a this is kind of a it's an inside family joke, but now it is your joke also. This is a book that I grew up with. Nobody listens to Andrew. And this is an artifact. So this is the actual book. This is not a copy of the book. This is the book, and you can see that's as far as I got writing my name. So I guess I quit. That's so hard. You can't write the whole name. Nobody wants to read all that anyway. Nobody's going to listen to me. This kind of became a family joke because I would complain, I'm the younger of two children, and I often felt like I wasn't being listened to, that my opinions didn't count. I was the kind of the smallest voice in the room. So I still identify with this guy. He kind of looks a little bit like me, and I was blonde when I was a kid. So that's what I'm going to change the name to. Everything is going to stay. I might import some of the kind of bigger things or more interesting things from my other channels. Um, maybe bookend them with a little bit of context or whatever, just so they're kind of in one place. But I'm going to leave those other things there. I'm going to leave everything there too. I've got interesting things coming up. I've got a really long list of stuff I want to talk about with pseudoarchaeology, including a lot having to do with Graham Hancock and the idea of a lost civilization. I also still want to go back through Swordgate. I want to open my back files and talk about some of that stuff and some of those things that happened, that really did happen. Hutton Pulitzer, if you're watching this, I know you are. Some things cannot be erased from the internet, and they are not going to be. Anyway, that's my Slacker Gen X pitch. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, I don't care. Move on. I'll still go to sleep at night. Seems like there'd be something else interesting to say here, but